Well, would you begin by introducing yourself and tell me what contributions you make to Global Village School?
My name is Lisa Hill, and I am an office assistant, office coordinator, and my functions are inquiry. So when families call in on the phone, I'm usually that person that they speak to um, on the phone, inquiring about our program, or if any existing families have any issues that they're experiencing with any aspect, they call the office. That's me that they speak to, and then I forward them to the appropriate person or department. I also handle financial billing for our payment plans and help support families in that financial realm, and then a lot of the payments that come through for enrollments. I also do enrollment, and I take care of high school transcripts and evaluations. And I think that about covers it.
I think you are the magician. You are the one with the magic wand that makes it happen. Yes.
With
What
some
do you love
support.
most about working with Global Village? What do you love most?
Um, I think probably the best thing is supporting families who come to us where a traditional system or whatever system they were currently in was not working for their families. And they usually call in and um, feel frustrated or feel unseen and unheard when they call in, and they're looking for someone to talk to and someone to help navigate them moving from one system and safely transitioning into another system that may support their child and their family and their values in a more appropriate manner. And so in helping them, once they move into the system and after their excitement of saying, oh my gosh, I think this is going to work for our family, to then see their child and also their family thrive once their child's needs are met and they're able to support their own child with providing different, resources that speak to them, speak to their child, and watching that blossom is just such a blessing. And to even watch existing families who are already with us to continue to grow, continue to get that depth and complexity of life outside of just a school lesson, and see them apply those lessons outside of the book into real life when these, when they come back and they're sharing things that they're doing. I find that really, I find that really fulfilling, and I enjoy doing it. So
It's really obvious. What inspires you about our students, their families?
um, I love the diversity and kind of the eclectic group that we have in our GVS community. And we have such a great diverse staff, and I think we all bring different things to the table. And for me, that's really inspiring, because those areas where I feel that I'm not as strong as another GVS colleague, I feel like I can call up that person or talk or ping that person and say, okay, hey, what do you think about this item? What's going on here? And I can have their expertise kind of fill in. I find that really inspiring, because I love being able to see how the GVS staff as well as our GVS families show up in the world with things that they do, with values that they apply in their lives um, as they're moving in the world, is so wonderful to see and just so inspiring for me and I think other families to see. Like, I couldn't wait to show that photo to my son, you know. And I said, look at this is one of the families, you know, and I'm like, I'm just so excited for them. And I just yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. I love how people kind of, you know, what you choose to amplify your voice in the world. And I'm so inspired how different people do that. Whether it's with nature conservation or whether it's with art and activism. I mean, or, you know, getting into the political realm or filmmaking. And, you know, you see that across the board. That's not even just our families, it's also our staff. And so I feel like our staff also helps infuse that energy into our families and our students, that love of learning, of applying your voice, your values, um, and valuing others' perspectives as well at the same time, where it's all about a dialogue, an open dialogue, and sharing that so that we all can grow, so that we can all understand where we are coming from. So I would say that, yeah, I could probably go on about that for a while, but
Well, this question actually is perfect because it will allow you to do that if you want. So, what energizes you professionally by working at Global Village?
I think just having a really feeling really supported and feeling having such a really smooth running machine with all of us. I mean, I feel like I think we all have important roles that we work together, and I love the fact that we can call on each other and kind of get that perspective, which adds a broad picture of what our goal is as a school. I think we all have visions. And when we have the, you know, our monthly meetings, I think I'm always really reinvigorated to try different things, not only in my workplace, but in my life, which then filters into my workplace by things and perspectives that other GVS colleagues share in those meetings, with things and approaches that they're taking, whether it's, you know, updating the curriculum or whether it's how we're going to approach an issue with a family that's struggling in one way or another, and how we can all come together to support those people. I think that I might have gotten a little bit off on a tangent and didn't stay true to the question, but that's really what keeps me going, is and feeling that we all kind of have a same vision for helping families, but we all come at it from our own perspectives and build this really strong foundational base that builds everyone up. And so I love having that. That's really inspiring to me, you know, like
We are a gestalt, really, in a way. I think that's sort of what you were saying, but you articulated it so beautifully. Yeah.
sorry if I kind of ramble.
Not at all. Truly, Lisa, not at all. So, what makes Global Village School a compelling force in your life?
I think having had the opportunity for both of my sons to participate in the program while I was also working, you know, when COVID hit, and I was one of those families that the traditional system, kids were in public school, was not working for my kids. And to see the type of growth that my kids experienced in meeting them right where they were at, doing things that they enjoyed, and finding that learning isn't about doing chapter 5 test and then memorizing that and then the next test and then okay, now I can leave and do something fun in the world. That thing that you're doing in the world, right, is a learning experience, and it can have the depth and complexity that you give it per your interest, per your passion. um, and seeing the confidence that it built in my younger son, built his confidence in a different way than my older son. My older son built it around organizational skills and really embracing the political realm and geographical type understanding of politics and that kind of thing. My younger son just found a voice that he was comfortable with, where he didn't have to compare himself to somebody else or a standard per se, that was set by somebody who didn't really know him. And they built a really strong trust in their teacher that they had, their GBS teacher, as well as a trust of themselves and their choices and their agencies when they started to move into the world. And having seen that in my own family, and then have new families come in, that's been invaluable. That was an invaluable lesson that I don't know if I would have seen it exactly the same way if I hadn't been a parent myself of a child that was struggling, that all of a sudden, after a month or two, found this voice in writing that just did not exist before. There was anxiety, and there was so much, and to have the support was just, yeah, unbelievable. The shift was wonderful to watch. So I think that is a real driving force for me when, people ask me, if I'm wearing I have my little backpack that has Global Village School on the back, and kind of ask me about it. And I always kind of talk about the powerful force that is there, that energy, the powerful energy of allowing children to truly participate fully in their educational journey. Like it just, yeah. And so it keeps me going.
So beautiful. That is so beautiful. It's true, isn't it? I hadn't thought about that with you, but of course that's true. That you learned by participating, you sort of minimized your part in working with both of your kids as a home teacher. And that's really, really important too. But yeah, so when it was time for the boys to move on, um, and then you're still working with Global Village School, that it's sort of like a testimony. You've got the experience to say, oh yeah, this works. No, I didn't really know what I was doing either.
Yep.
And
Well,
and
yeah.
it worked.
Yes, exactly. And I found, sometimes when inquiring families call in and, they'll ask me like, okay, how much time do you need to put in? How do you work with two kids? And I can say, wow, yeah, I know what that's like. And this is how I did it, especially with two kids who had two completely different learning styles, two completely different ages. It was a 5-year split. And, um, and telling them, kind of relieving some of the anxiety that they come in with, of saying, hey, this is, you're shifting situations. You have to allow yourself, allow your children, allow the family to decompress and begin fresh and absorb a totally different way of what learning looks like. And they become so excited. Hearing someone's success story, just all of a sudden they're like, wow, this could be really doable for us. I could really do this.